to this special edition of Cocktails and Conversations, our small business spotlight. Today we're spotlighting the Flipside Production, which is its own interpretation
of domestic violence,
which is interpreted through the story of
the Jean Chatman Story.
We're starting with our director, because I just want to know a little bit more about why she does what she does. You ready? Our fabulous Deep Brown. Everybody, this is Deep Brown. Tell the people why it is that you chose to gravitate to storytelling through plays.
Well, to have a very vivid imagination and to basically have, pretty much been alone during my childhood to just create and just to bring forth my imagination on paper.
Perfect. How many productions have you done?
Well, as far as plays, I have written at least five plays, one sitcom with 16 shows, 2 films, 1 Broadway musical. I've done tons of spoken word poetry. What else?
Okay, so
yeah.
The list goes on and on and on. Like, I don't want to know eight of everything. Apparently, you've been doing this for years. How long have you been doing this?
Oh, a long time, since I was a little girl. I'm only 22.
She's 22, baby. 22! For being you, she's 22. Okay, we just gonna let that one roll on through.
You gotta be spiritual to understand what I say.
We gonna let that one roll on through. Okay, we gonna roll. What's the name of this play again?
It's called the Jean Chatman Story.
Okay, so why this specific story?
To bring awareness to domestic violence. I mean, there are many women that are being abused probably as we speak right now. Mm-hmm. And abuse has no color, it has no gender, it has no tone. It's just abuse. It's a form of hate, where someone that's insecure, they can't find strength unless they're hitting someone that's weaker than them. Again, abuse doesn't even have a gender. So men get abused. There are men that are Jean Chatman, there are women, just abuse is abuse, period. So we want to just bring awareness to it, to those. And maybe someone that may be in the audience can get delivered from it, or have the courage to now speak up.
I can relate because I myself have also been a victim of domestic violence, but that was years and years ago. Please don't try me today.
Okay.
Please don't try me today. I'm just like the song. Try Jesus. Don't try me. Because I throw hands and bullets. Okay, I'm going to say anyway, and bullets. Okay. Have you yourself been a victim of domestic violence?
Yes.
It's one question that I myself and a lot of my viewers kind of want to get to the bottom of, because some of us, like me, have been a part of domestic violence and haven't been able to get that answer ourselves. Do you really know what makes us stay as long as we do?
It's a mindset. Once you get tired of getting hit and you start to hit back, you get tired of it. Right. It's a mindset of a controlling thing, narcissism. To manipulate, to make you, to belittle you, and then try to build you up under their standards, under how their views are, and it becomes very controlling to the point where you feel like you're always wrong, or you're walking around on eggshells.
So it's almost a God complex where they want somebody to worship them.
Well, yeah, pretty much. And not only that, growing up, let's say if you have an abusive parents that's like a narcissist, and they're raising their children, their children will grow up with a lot of different things that they have to grow out of, because growing up as a child, that's normal, So becoming an adult, they have to be able to break free from that. So abuse is not just a short-term thing; it is a long-term thing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And it's all concerning on how strong you are, and then it doesn't matter that, because then it's a spiritual battle within the mind itself as well. So you got to learn how to separate at all costs.
You got to learn how to get you some Ike and Tina. Get the Tina in the limo, okay, with the high heel. Just get you some I don't care, okay.
But then another thing is this, that if you've never been there, then you really wouldn't understand.
You would not.
You're not gonna understand. It's just like if someone was to commit suicide, oh baby, please don't do that. Well, you don't know where I am. Okay, I try to understand, but if you've never been to the dark place, you can't bring somebody from that darkness into that light unless you've been there to become the light inside of that darkness to bring somebody.
Right. Have you ever seen it to where someone in the middle of darkness helped someone else out of darkness?
Yes, but that's a gift. That's a calling. That's a calling.
So it's only a few people that's gonna do that.
That's only a few people that can.
All right, so I was just saying that to clear this up. Okay, stop trying to help somebody else if you ain't help yourself. Okay, you got to get your own stuff in line. Okay, self accountability. Okay, so on a much lighter note, what do we have to expect from you in the future?
Everything. My next thing is to get this cast on the road. We are going to New York. We're looking to go to Vegas and California at this time. With this play, I have a book that I'm writing called Hell's Fury Stories from the Bone, which I have 3 chapters already written. I'm audio recording it with my voice.
Okay.
I have another play that deals on generational curses. That's next. So that's a lot better than this one. It's so that I'm not even going to be in the Jean Chatman Story anymore. I'm going to be in that one. So I'm going to go
Okay, so you
my role
going from in front of the camera to behind the camera. Talk about elevation.
No, I'm in the camera and behind the camera.
Oh wait, so we doing both?
Yeah, I'm acting in both, and we're shooting.
That's amazing.
What we're doing tonight is actually having a rehearsal. The cast has worked very, very hard. If you guys will just give
Just one time for that.
And they will perform on tonight what we rehearsed so far. We've left out some of the characters, we left out some of the parts, but what you guys think you're about to see right now, it's not what you guys are thinking. They're about to bring something that is out of this world.
Okay, I'll get the info, okay? It's supposed to be all the money, okay?
Yeah.
This has been a fabulous interview with our director. Give her a hand. Give her a hand. All right, so we're back with the cast. I don't know who is who. All these people are amazing. So we're just gonna go down the line. We're gonna let everybody introduce themselves. We're gonna start with you because my favorite color is blue. What's your name?
My name is Foy Mullen. I play the cast member of Pastor Group.
Pastor. All right. What do you do in your primary life?
I'm a fitness trainer, and basically I'm a part-time minister also. So.
Okay. Now he's also in another life a cool more D. Okay, cool mo D. He put that bass on. Can you hear him? Can you hear him? I can't, and I'm sitting next to him. Okay, so we need you to project next time. Okay. And rolling on. What's your name?
My name's Shanderica.
Okay.
I play the cast member of Jean Chatman.
Okay.
I'm an educator. I teach pre-K. So I like acting. I started when I was maybe like 17, 18, and I stopped. And I'm getting back into it now, so.
We'll catch up on that. Because I want to know more about that, why you stopped and all that, you know. Anyway, next person.
Rick Stone, playing the role of Leroy. I'm a truck driver. I own a trucking company. I'm also an actor. I got other projects that I'm working on as well.
Look out for Leroy, okay? Everybody look out for Leroy. I heard a word about Leroy, okay? Okay, since women go first, we're going to come back up here. What's your name? You might have to come up a little bit so they can see you.
Nicola. My name is Nicola. I work in healthcare, and I'm playing the part of Chrissy.
Perfect. You, sir?
My name is Dennis Melton. I also play the cast member of Pastor Group. I also drive trucks, and I'm a full-time minister.
You are a minister. That's going to be an interesting conversation, too. Lord, forgive me for what I might say in front of the minister, okay? Next.
Hello, I'm LaShandra. I also play the role as Jean Chatman. I'm a mother of 4 and a wife of 1. I am a salon owner. Also, I am a restaurant owner. So that's it.
Talk about small business spotlight. Didn't even know we was getting all these businesses.
Small, big business for me.
Yeah, see, small business is a technical term, so we can
Yeah.
get the benefits
We
of
gonna
the
change
taxes. We'll talk about that later. Okay, last but definitely not least,
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Taurus Jones. I play Casey in a Jean Chatman Story. I'm a full-time welder, all-around worker.
wait, he said he a welder. How old are you?
21.
I don't want to hear nothing about no slacking, okay? She's 21 and a welder. No slacking, okay? I'm just saying, no slacking. All right, so we're gonna do these questions kind of like communal. If you feel like answering, just don't interrupt nobody, okay? The first question is, have you ever been on stage before?
Yes,
No.
yes, I have.
1 second. What other times? How many other times?
Maybe 7, 6, 8, somewhere around there.
So you intermediate, you're not beginning, but you like intermediate. You working
Correct.
you almost at
Correct.
full stream level. Okay, anybody else? That's vet to the stage?
No, I haven't did stage, but I've done, on camera, I've been in 3 movies.
Okay.
And I've also been on like newscast, sportscast shows, stuff like that.
But since you're on TV, make sure you audition for Billy D. Williams. I'm sure it's coming up. You got the hair on. You got the hair on. Okay, give me a little projection. Okay. Okay, so of you, how many have never graced the stage before?
I ain't been on a big stage, but I done did 2 plays with Sis Burns.
Oh, so you was a part of that laundry list she was down here reading on. I'm gonna ask you some stuff later on in the show. Okay? And I might tell her to leave so I can get some real talk. Okay? How is it, and I kind of want at least 3 of you, and most 5, okay? How is it getting into character? Like being the role of a pastor, but not really being a full-time pastor, or being a abused mother. Are you abused? Have you been abused? How do you tap into that? Who wanna go first? Ooh, let's do Miss Hair right here in the front. You see her hair? No, I didn't do it. Okay, stop asking.
Well, for me, playing Jean, I've never been physically abused, but mental abuse and emotional abuse.
That's still abuse.
It's still abuse.
Sometimes it's the most long lasting.
Right?
Because
So,
physical, you can kind of heal a scar.
right. So, getting back to that mindset, it was kind of hard because it's like you really got to go there for a minute.
How do you turn it off when you leave rehearsal?
Right. Prayer and fasting. Just being who you are now and not trying to wake it back up is still dead, and it will forever be dead. So it's just you embracing who you are now and knowing that what you're doing now is helping somebody else.
One more question before I go to someone else. How, even when, did you know whatever it was that was going to help you get out of whatever situation that was?
I have a very, very close relationship with God. And
That's literally it.
And that's it, because he actually talks to you just like I'm talking to you now. And when you hear him, when he told me I was victorious one, I knew then that I had to do what I had to do.
But see, that's the difference. A lot of people don't know how to take the time to even understand when he's speaking.
You have to want it. You gotta want it like down to your toenails, like for real.
You gotta be in it with it. You heard me.
You gotta want it, cause you can say, yeah, I don't want it, or I'm gonna leave, or whatever the case may be. But you really got to want it, because, like she said, generational curses. You never know what the generational curse is until it maybe could happen to you. You know, it's just you really gotta get into it, and you really gotta know that who God is in your life. Now, I can't give it to nobody else. I can't give credit to nobody else. You know, that's just what it is.
That's it. That's all.
Casey in it, so Casey is like the nephew of Jean. So it's like, I ain't never really dealt with that in real life. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never really been at it firsthand.
Dealt with what? The
Abuse. Or
verbal abuse or the physical part? Like what? None of it?
Seeing the abuse. or even hearing the drums. I ain't never been in nobody's shoes like that, but I know I've been around. I got family members who dealt with that, and I know if I hear it, it picks me up. So you know what I'm saying? And I just.
How is it for you on the outside of rehearsal? Like tapping out of experience?
On the outside, it's like I really wish nobody would have to deal with that, for real. And as far as me, like it's kind of hard to even play this role.
That's a part of being an actor.
Yeah, it is.
Let's hear from the troublemaker Leroy, then I got you, because I want to talk to you a little bit.
So for me, Leroy, I'm character Leroy. It's the total opposite of me.
What is Leroy's persona on camera?
Leroy is an abuser, mentally, verbally, physically, anything else you can think of.
Abuse personified is Leroy. I told you, listen out for Leroy.
Leroy is he's the worst. That's the best way for me to put it. He's the worst. I had another role once on a stage play where I played the devil, and I kind of pulled from that to get Leroy with the help of Deep Brown. She literally told me one day at rehearsal that she said, when I saw your headshot, you fit the role as far as your look. But then I got this nice guy coming in here, and I can't see that. You gotta flip that. And that literally made something click in my head. You know, it made something click, like where I had to pull from this other role. And but this guy, man, I would hate for this guy to date my sister, my mama, my daughter, anybody that I know, any female that I know, I would hate for her to date this guy, like literally.
Wow.
And sometimes when I leave rehearsal, I just sit in my truck and I just turn some music on, just listen to something positive just to get this guy out of my head.
Your character is?
Jean Chatman.
Right. Have you ever experienced firsthand abuse?
I haven't experienced firsthand physical abuse, sexual abuse. I have.
Abuse is abuse.
It is.
It's still abuse. None the lighter than the other. How is it tapping into the physical side of abuse, like a totally different side of your personality?
Tapping into the physical is more like, it's not the same, but in a way, the emotion.
Are still the
You
same?
know, as far as you being in it and you want to be out of it, or you're there and you don't say nothing.
Okay.
A lot of sexual abuse kind of starts in the point where people don't say nothing, they keep it under the rug, it sticks with you for years, and you don't say anything about it, and sometimes physical relationships are the same way.
Yeah, and you kind of carry it along. I started a nonprofit a couple of years ago called Under the Rug to help kind of people coming along behind me, because as a kid, when you go through stuff like that, you kind of feel isolated, even though it's so many people that are just like you, around the corner next door even,
Right.
sometimes in the same household. So that's the reason I started that. But okay, so how is it letting all that stuff go? And how did you get through your own form of abuse?
Well, to God be the glory, right before I started this, I had just actually graduated from a class that I took, a sexual abuse support group. And I went through a class for 12 weeks, and in that class, I pretty much had to dig down deep. It was with the church, and throughout that church, it was counselors there, and the pastor and the first lady kind of just told you who you are. I learned who I was as an individual. I brought myself back up as a female, as a woman, and it gave me a lot of courage to be able to help others. And I always told God I want to be able to help people that's been in my situation before, to say, hey, don't hold back for so long, speak on it. The person you deserve that victory. So you got to expose that person, you know. And going through the whole class, there was times that I didn't like it, I didn't enjoy it, but you had to go through the shaking to get to the other side. And as soon as I finished,
Come on, Decatur, got a whole song. The shaking, the beating,
Right,
and the
and the
pressing.
pressing.
We're not going all the way down there.
so once I was finished, Deep came to me with this production, and it was like, God was like, see, there it is. And I had no idea what type of role I would have or how I would even project it, but it just came on time.
We're going to do one more person. I want to hear from Pastor. Y'all want to hear from Pastor? Give me a thumbs up. All the saints that you're in here and the ain'ts, give me a thumbs up. Okay. The saints and the ain'ts, thumbs up. All right. Pastor, how you doing? Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
In this role as a pastor, is it just like every day, or is it something completely different?
It's completely different because this pastor has a background that I've never had. A background that is filled with tragedy. But me, although I grew up hard in the projects and things of that nature, and I had to deal with gangs, I never was one myself. And so it's a challenge for me to actually be one myself. And then try to turn that to be, be converted to a pastor.
I mean, because that's a lot of emotions in one character all at the same time. Like, having to depict this with such conviction, and then on the same side, get right back to the good one. That's a lot all in the same. So, how are you studying for that?
Well, much like my castmate said, I asked God for strength. Because you need mental strength to deal with any role of that magnitude. And inner strength, I mean, too. And so for me, studying I have to think about the good that came out of him. Even though he was this terrible person at once, he gave his life to God. And so I have to focus on the fact that he came from such a devilish past, coming to such a glorious end.
And did you hear that? Did you hear that? That boy switched from actor to pastor just like that. You heard that? And I heard it. I was on that first good vestibule right here. Thank you, pastor. Go right ahead.
But that's what helps me study.
Okay, so one more question for the entire cast. And we're going to make this quick, make it short and concise. What is it that you hope to leave from your role on the world?
Well, it isn't anybody specific, because I'm sure men treat men like this, and men treat women like this, and women treating women, and women treating men. So the behavior is the behavior. You know what I'm saying? So I want everybody to be able to see this behavior and be able to identify it.
Perfect.
I want every Jean Chatman to know that you're not your abuse.
I want people to see the seriousness of the role. I would like people to, because I'm also a victim of domestic violence.
Whoa, wait. Rewind, bring me back. Hold on. Now we have like a special segment we're about to do with an actual man who's been abused and who is not afraid to talk about it. You ready to go? Because I'm ready to go. I like talking to men who like talking. We need more men who can speak. Okay, all right. So let's talk about this. How are you doing? When did this happen? I need some drinks. Where's the drink? Pastor, forgive me.
It was a young lady in Dallas, and it's a very peculiar situation for a man, because on the one hand, especially a man of my stature, people look at me, you're big, muscular, and you're getting hit by a woman, you having a woman almost crash your car and kill you, going through those things, and I went to the police and tried to get a restraining order, and they laughed at me. So this resonates. Also, I'm a PK kid, so I see my father body a dude over trying to jump on one of the ladies at the church. So I don't talk much, and I probably cast members probably notice this, but this is the things that I've experienced in my life. So.
Okay, so I want you to dead the rumors for me. Okay? Please dead the rumors. Y'all ready? Because y'all done asked me this before. Is the life of a PK as hard as people say it is?
Well, absolutely, because there's a responsibility, when your parents are in a leadership role, you have to walk a straight line, more straight, because you got a lot of eyes on you, and so anything you do is going to be scrutinized, so yes.
All right, so now let's get back to the point. Okay, so in the moment of being abused, what are your thoughts? Like, are you thinking, okay, I was raised not to hit this woman, but she keep mopping me while I'm driving. Like what do you really, walk me through, if it's not too much, walk me through a moment where you're like, what's happening?
Well, I was hitting the head with a heel, and she busted my head open. At that point, I prayed to the Most High God, and God brought me out that situation, because I had to be, first of all, my mother and my sister were both life threatened. So, I had just get up and move, you know. With everything, losing everything, I just got up and move, you know, because at that situation, being a black male in this society, if I would have been active with my statue, it don't matter if I got hit 100 times, who would have believed me? You see what I'm saying? Like when people would have looked and said, man, this 240-pound dude, man, please. She's not abusing him. He probably hit her.
This your next story.
So,
Sorry.
so that's just the reality of the situation, and so I'm very serious, whether male or female. I don't believe anybody should be putting their hands in. One of the thing in my role that I want to portray is, you know, don't just sit back. When you see somebody being abused, whether it's a male or a female, say something.
See something, say something.
Step up to the, because you know somebody could lose their life. You know, and there's stages of depression and all kind of stuff that you go through being abused.
Thank you for that. Can we give him a round of applause for the Do you feel like your role is to bring a lighter side to the energy in the room at the time?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I want all the Jean Chatmans out there to know that you have people out there that really care and have your back. Because you do have some false prophets and false pastors
A whole lot
that take part in their victory.
Yes.
But I want them to know that this pastor, this role, is not like that. You got real support.
It's Jean.
Well, I would like for everyone to know that there's life, and don't let no one take that from you.
You, sir, young man, what legacy? Do you think about legacies at 21? I know I didn't think about a legacy at 21. But are you thinking about a legacy? Who you want to impress on these people that's doing like this all day while they driving? But this show for the millennials, right? They doing this
Like,
right
you
here.
can lose your life. You can lose your life doing all of that. And as far as like, in my role, you have to like, you gotta have a good relationship with God. Because you'll think that's okay to do, but in reality, like, you're gonna throw your whole life away. You know, you gotta learn to forgive. You gotta learn to walk with God and actually talk to him and listen to him. I know God a lot, and I got a good bond with him, so it's been like that for
Now that's a very good praise. Man. Well, I really appreciate you guys for joining me tonight and letting me interview. Do y'all have any? We're gonna do this, okay? I'm scared, especially about Leroy's question. But we're gonna do this. I never do this with anybody. We're gonna give them something special, okay? Do y'all have any question for me?
You act. You act.
No, I am not. Never acted before.
Have you been a victim of domestic violence?
Mm-hmm. I have. I don't really know if that ended well, but come on, we got a couple quick minutes.
Why did you want this play on your platform, and what does your platform actually do?
Okay, so this particular part of my platform is a show I created called Cocktails and Conversations. It was originally created to have candid conversations that move the needle forward originally. But it started out as just me and one of my group of girlfriends or a couple of my stylists or a couple of people just sitting there kicking the shit about normal stuff. Excuse me, Pastor. That's what that. But at that point, I'm just like, okay, it's not really doing anything. I feel like a part of what I'm supposed to do is to help people along in whatever way that is. I'm a hairstylist by trade for the longest part of mine. It's like 17 years or something like that. I was 19, I'm 37. I remember 21, something, right? I've been a fashion designer pretty much all my life, but since 2012, like as a profession, as another career, right? And every time I meet somebody, they're always laying something on me. I'm like a makeshift counselor and all of my things too. So that's when I got the impression to make it make sense and mean something to more than just me, right? So that's when we started back up once we got a direction. So this particular segment, it came along because I decided that because I do so much and I know so many business owners and I'm doing pop-ups and I'm connected with all these different people, Why not spotlight some of these same great people that aren't getting mainstream light? Because they ain't mainstream yet. We're talking to networks and stuff, but if we don't glorify us, who else, right? It's gonna do it. So I'm like, let me just take this little platform and give it to more than just me. You know, that crab in the bucket mentality that a lot of us have, I'm kind of fighting against, right? Because I put you out there in front of me and pray that you do better than me. Because there's room for me and you everywhere, in whatever industry. So that's kind of like, but this particular show is going to be the snippet in the middle. I'm gonna record it like acting in a second and put that into the video for domestic violence. So I also have a licensed practicing counselor that's on the show with me. So we'll go back and forth about that too and have a real conversation to whomever chooses to listen. All right, thank you so much. This is the Lamar moment. Because this is a domestic violence moment, we've already done our interviews and got one-on-one stories from everybody, first-hand accounts and everything. I'm not gonna make it long, okay? I'm gonna bring you some statistics that are true, that are current as of today. These are from sources that not just me look, that's not Google, it's not your local Wikipedia, okay? Because people are on today, okay? Check your sources. Did you know, like 1 in 3 women, 1 in 4 men are physically abused every day? 1 in 7 women and 1 in 25 men are actually injured from this physical abuse every day. 1 in 10 women have been raped. And there's no real studies about how many men have been raped. Talk about a double standard. On any given day, there's about 20,000 phone calls to the Domestic Violence Awareness Hotline. 20,000 people nationwide. Did you know that when guns or weapons are present, that increases the homicide rate by 500%? 500%. 19% of domestic violence situations end up in catastrophic violence because of weapons. 19% of them. Out of all of those people that get injured, that get hurt, that may lose their life, only 34% of people actually get treatment. They asked me if I had ever been abused. Yes, I've been abused. It was in a personal relationship. But see, me, I blacked out, okay? You can't just treat me any kind of way. I think I'm just gonna just sit there and take it. When it's time, you'll know it's time. But in the meantime, find somebody to talk to. As I say every single episode, I love you for watching, and until next time, take care of yourself and somebody else too.